Words have the power to shape reality, influence others, and define who we are. Intelligent people understand that their speech is not only a reflection of their mind, but also a tool for creating the world around them. They carefully choose what they say, knowing the consequences words can have on their personal growth, relationships, and the greater world. There are certain things an intelligent person never says, and these omissions are not mere accidents, but conscious decisions rooted in wisdom and mindfulness. Let me share with you a small story: the wise monk and the closed mind. Once a young man approached a wise monk in search of knowledge. As the monk began to speak, the young man interrupted repeatedly, saying, "I already know that. That's not possible, and I've tried, but it doesn't work." After a while, the monk invited the young man for tea. As the monk poured tea into the young man's cup, he continued pouring even after the cup was full, causing tea to spill onto the table. The young man exclaimed, "What are you doing? The cup is already full." The monk smiled and said, "Like this cup, your mind is too full. If you do not empty it, how can you make room for new understanding?" This story reminds us that an intelligent mind is open, willing to learn, and never so full that it cannot grow. Here, let me share with you the 11 things an intelligent person never says, not as rules, but as reflections of deeper understanding. Each point offers insights that can inspire all of us to think before we speak and to act with greater clarity. 1. I already know that. An intelligent person embraces learning, knowing that knowledge is an endless journey. To say, "I already know that," closes the door to growth. They recognize that even familiar ideas can offer new perspectives, and instead of shutting down, they listen actively. Cultivate curiosity. When you hear something you think you know, ask yourself, "What can I learn from this that I may have missed before?" 2. That's impossible. To label something as impossible is to impose limits on what can be achieved. Intelligent people understand that many breakthroughs in history came from people who refused to believe in impossibility. Instead of dismissing a challenge, they ask, "How can this be done?" When faced with a difficult situation, instead of saying, "That's impossible," challenge yourself to find creative solutions. Shift your language from negativity to possibility. 3. That's not my problem. A wise individual never isolates themselves from the world. They understand the interconnectedness of humanity and realize that apathy leads to isolation. Instead of distancing themselves, they ask how they can contribute, even in small ways. Practice empathy. If something doesn't seem like your problem, ask yourself, "What small thing can I do to help? How can I contribute?" It could be as simple as offering a kind word or a suggestion. 4th, I can't. An intelligent person never undermines their own potential. "I can't" is a phrase that limits one's abilities. Instead, they explore their strengths, adapt to their weaknesses, and push through challenges. Even when things are difficult, they approach obstacles with an attitude of, "How can I?" rather than, "I can't." Replace "I can't" with, "How can I make this work?" Whenever you feel like giving up, take a step back and reframe the challenge into smaller, manageable tasks. 5. It's not fair. Life isn't always fair, but intelligent people don't waste time complaining about it. They know that fairness is subjective, and dwelling on it brings unnecessary frustration. Instead of focusing on what's unfair, they concentrate on what they can control and change. When confronted with a situation that feels unjust, ask yourself, "What can I do to make things better?" Redirect your energy towards actions that improve your situation or others' lives. 6. I'm too busy. An intelligent person values time, but never hides behind the excuse of being too busy. They manage their priorities wisely, And understand that time is about choice, not circumstance. Saying "I'm too busy" often means avoiding responsibility or missing opportunities. Practice mindful time management. Instead of saying "I'm too busy," reassess your priorities. Consider what truly matters and make room for it. 7. That's just how it is. This phrase reflects resignation and the refusal to change. An intelligent person challenges the status quo, questions existing norms, and strives for better outcomes. They don't accept things passively, they work actively to improve them. If you find yourself thinking, "That's just how it is," take a moment to ask, "How can I make this better?" Even small changes in perspective or behavior can lead to significant improvements over time. 8. I'm not good enough. Self-doubt is a barrier to success. An intelligent person acknowledges their imperfections, but never lets them define their worth. Instead, they focus on growth, improvement, and self-acceptance, knowing that progress is more important than perfection. Practice self-compassion. When negative thoughts arise, remind yourself of your strengths and achievements. Instead of "I'm not good enough," say, "I am constantly growing." 9. I told you so. An intelligent person understands that asserting superiority over others only builds resentment. Saying "I told you so" may boost the ego temporarily, but it damages relationships. Instead, they offer guidance and support without belittling others. Focus on collaboration rather than blame. When someone makes a mistake, offer understanding and assistance instead of seeking validation through "I told you so." 10. It's their fault. Blaming others creates division and weakens one's sense of responsibility. Intelligent people take accountability for their actions and their part in any situation, knowing that shifting blame doesn't solve problems, it perpetuates them. Practice radical responsibility. When things go wrong, ask yourself, "What is my role in this situation?" Even if you're not entirely at fault, understanding your contribution fosters growth. 11th, it's too late. An intelligent person believes in the power of change at any stage of life. They know that as long as they're alive, it's never too late to learn, improve, or reinvent themselves. This mindset allows them to embrace opportunities, no matter the timing. Embrace the present moment. Instead of thinking it's too late, remind yourself, now is the perfect time to start. Take small steps toward your goals, knowing that progress can happen at any stage. By avoiding these 11 statements, you align yourself with a mindset that fosters growth, empathy, responsibility, and resilience. Each one is an opportunity to embrace a higher way of thinking and acting in the world. Remember, intelligence is not just about what you know. It's about how you apply wisdom in everyday life.